Dragon is the latest live-action remake of a classic Disney film starring Bryce Dallas Howard, Oaks Fegley, Wes Bentley, Carl Urban, and what this movie's about is Pete, after a tragic event, is left alone in the woods for a very long time, but luckily he befriends a giant, green, friendly dragon that he names Elliot. And they survive in the woods together, they become a great duo, they become a good family, until one day Pete is discovered by a park ranger, played by Bryce Dallas Howard, named Grace, and after that, their life starts to get a little bit tricky. Now, the original Pete's Dragon movie, I remembered seeing it back in 5th grade, and I remember enjoying it, but I was really excited for this movie, mainly because earlier this year, Disney did a great job remaking their Jungle Book movie because they improved on the original, and they did that last year with the Cinderella movie, so I was hoping that they were going to take that classic film and remake it into something special, something amazing that'll live on for years to come. And while I don't think it's amazing, I will say that I did enjoy myself quite a bit with this film. The main enjoyment for me came from the relationship between Pete and Elliot. These two, you could really feel the chemistry with each other, which is really impressive since one is a giant CGI dragon, and I have to give really big props to Oaks Fegley, who played Pete in this film. He did a very good job not only playing the character but also working with this giant thing that is nothing. It's just air on set, and he had to work off of that. That must be really hard to do, I can only imagine, but he pulled it off very well, and this just adds to the list of impressive child actor performances of this year, like Neil Setti in The Jungle Book, Ruby Barnhill in the BFG, the kids from The Conjuring 2, and also Elliot is the cutest dragon I think I have ever seen. They made Elliot seem more like a dog version of a dragon, which worked. It made me honestly really care about this guy. Like, after a minute of meeting him for the first time, I was like, oh man, you are amazing. I just wanna hug your giant hairy arm and just pet your snout. There's constant cute moments of Elliot in this movie that just made me want to go, aww. And it did lead to some pretty heartwarming stuff, including some moments near the end, obviously no spoilers, but I could feel them trying to tug at my heartstrings a little bit. I didn't cry, but I wanted to very much, because the relationship between Pete and Elliot was really good. And the visual effects for Elliot looked really impressive, especially when he's flying around in the sky with Pete on his back, and you hear the score in the background. By the way, whoever did the score did a very good job, because seeing those flying scenes especially, and then hearing that score in the background, it made it seem like this was a new Disney moment, like a new magical moment that if kids were watching it, they'd be blown away. And while I was watching it, I could literally just feel the magic happening on screen, like the BFG. There is movie magic surrounding that everywhere. Or in the Jungle Book with the amazing CGI in that film. Movie magic. It's pure movie magic. And some moments here involving Elliot, once again, pure movie magic. Hit me in the feels. And even the other performances in this movie, like Bryce Dallas Howard playing Grace, I honestly really enjoyed her character. I think she did a really good job, and I like how in some ways she tried to relate to Pete, and I really enjoyed their relationship in that aspect, and I did enjoy every performance. No performance was dull, in my opinion. However, this is where I'm going to segue into the flaws here. Even though I did enjoy the acting with Pete and Bryce Dallas Howard, and even Robert Redford, even though he's not in it as much as I thought he was going to be, I thought he did a really good job here. Even though I enjoy the performances, I think this movie was really lacking as far as character goes. Like, Wes Bentley plays the boyfriend to Grace, and he has a daughter, and I just didn't really feel like his character was needed. I know he's the father of this girl who's important, and he's also the owner of this company, you know, chopping down trees and stuff, going into the forest, but he just really didn't feel that needed. And also his daughter, good performance, but she was saying stuff that girls her age, like 10 or something, would not be saying. Like, she's taking on an educating role with Pete, like she's teaching him things, like pointing out everything to him, teaching him about everything in the world, and also trying to give him some wisdom, trying to convince him of stuff. Like, no 10-year-old girl would really talk like this. One of the most generic characters, though, unfortunately, I found to be in Carl Urban. I like Carl Urban, and in this movie, he's a good actor, but his character, I felt really generic. Just he discovers the dragon. He's like, this thing is dangerous, and then that's really all he's got going for him. He has some kind of dramatic tension with another character, but it didn't really feel like that paid off in any way in the plot. It just didn't really have that much of an impact for me. And unfortunately, one of my gripes with this movie is that I felt the plot to be a little cliche. There are definitely some times where you can see where the plot is going. I just wanted it to be a little bit more unpredictable. But Pete's Dragon, I can't deny, I did have fun with this film, especially the friendship between Elliot and Pete. Elliot is one of the cutest dang dragons I think I've ever seen. The visuals are so great for it, and the performances are all good, even those characters that I just mentioned, but it is those kind of generic characters that are weighing this movie down, and the predictability of this plot also is weighing it down. I think if they had worked on the script a little bit more and maybe worked on the characters a bit, I think this movie could have turned out to be amazing. However, Pete's Dragon is still really fun. I did get some enjoyment out of this film, and I would watch it again. It's kind of like how I feel about the BFG in a way. I'm gonna give Pete's Dragon a B. I enjoyed it quite a bit, though it does have some flaws in it. I still really enjoy it. I'd tell parents to take their kids to go out to see this movie, especially after the disappointing box office this weekend. I would definitely say, go take your kids to see Pete's Dragon, because chances are they will end up loving this film, and the adults aren't gonna have a horrible time with this movie. It's actually really heartwarming. I felt a lot of warmness in this area that I never feel warmness from, so that's pretty good, I think. But if you've seen Pete's Dragon, leave in the comments below of what you thought of it, and I'm gonna have reviews out for Florence Foster Jenkins, Bad Moms, and Money Monster fairly soon. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.